Would it be weird if I didn't do the thing, or like, could I just get into the video? What's going on with you guys? TheCaliEffect, King of Games here, and you guys, you finally did it. You have not only convinced me to tell you guys what are the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Hand traps this format, you convinced me to do it in tier list style. I want to give a mad shout out to my Discord for helping me figure out every single applicable Yu-Gi-Oh! Hand trap right now in compiling this list. And in this video, I will be showing you guys every single hand trap, its uses, its applications, and where I put it on the tier list. So without further ado, let's jump on in. So moving on into the tier list, I've decided to split off the hand traps in 5 different categories. There are the staple must-play cards. These hand traps are too strong. You probably should consider playing these hand traps if you are playing hand traps inside of your main deck. Then there's the low-key hand traps. These hand traps are pretty good. Sometimes they can blur the lines of good but situational, but their situation just completely blows things out of the water. Then there's the good but situational hand traps. These particular hand traps can shine in a particular moment. They may not come up as often as the low-key cards. Not good at all right now is the hand traps that we don't do that here. These are the hand traps that you should consider not playing inside of your main board or sideboard. And then the oh no, what is you doing, baby? Meaning that if your opponent is playing these hand traps, you can consider them as a free W. Now, starting off with the first card on our tier list, Ally of Justice Cycle Reader is actually going to go to the low-key status. Now, this card could be good but situational, but it has an amazing Drytron matchup. Basically, what Cycle Reader does is that you can discard this card from your hand to banish 2 light monsters in your opponent's graveyard. And for the players that don't know, the effect of your Drytron monsters will resolve before you can activate the effect of your Cyber Angel Benton, meaning that you can banish your opponent's Benton before they can get its free search. Also, this card can hit multiple Drytron monsters in the graveyard, so Cycle Reader actually is low-key good because it has so many situations against Drytron. Against all of the other meta decks, it can kind of struggle, but it has a really good niche spot. Moving forward, Artifact Lancia has to go into the staple must-play range. This is a card that demands attention in any single matchup. Decks like Drytron, Virtual World, Dino, Eldritch, and even Invoked all get shut down completely by Artifact Lancia. This is a must-play staple that you should consider playing inside of your side deck. Moving forward, Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, me and her have had a rocky relationship. Sometimes it's, oh no, baby, what are you doing? But this time around, I'm going to put her in the staple must-play category. Ash Blossom and Joy Spring applies to every single Yu-Gi-Oh! Matchup right now. Drytron, Virtual World, Dino, Zodiac, Eldritch, Dogmatica, Altergeist, Guru, it does not matter. Ash Blossom and Joy Spring has some form of application against every single Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck right now. If you were considered on playing a hand trap in your deck, Ash Blossom should probably be the first one played. I feel that Chaos Hunter is in the good but situational category. This can really stop decks like Dinos from activating cards like Misk from the graveyard, and it prevents Virtual World from using King Lung, and if you think about it, Desires and Chuchi. The problem with this card is that a lot of times you need to open it, and if your opponent gets going or has the ability to get rid of Chaos Hunter, which isn't that hard, then this card could be not great. I have to put it in that good but situational category. It's probably a card that you should probably steer more away from, as there are other hand traps like Lancia and some other cards that does what Chaos Hunter does, but a little better. Moving forward, DD Crow is a low-key good card. I feel that DD Crow has more applications to Ally of Justice Cycle Reader, saying that Cycle Reader can only banish light monsters, where DD Crow can banish cards from the graveyard, which is really important against Eldritch matchups, and of course the Altergeist matchup. You can almost even put DD Crow into that staple must-play category just because it's just so powerful. The fact that it isn't a hard once per turn, meaning that if you open multiple DD Crows, you win the game. Dimensional Shifter is a good but situational card. In the beginning, we've seen Zodiac players use Dimension Shifter, forcing decks like Virtual World or Dino, and sometimes even Drytron to just completely end their turn. But the problem with Dimensional Shifter in decks like Zodiac is that you can just end your turn. No one is scared of any Zodiac OTK coming around, so a lot of times that could just pass their turn, take the damage, and then follow up. Dimensional Shifter needs to be in a dedicated build where the the deck can take advantage of the card. I know of such deck, but you guys are gonna have to destroy that like button and let me know down below in the comment section if that's something you want to see. Let's try to get this video to 1,000 likes. I think that that's a pretty decent threshold. Moving forward, Drollin Lockbird has to be a card that's good but situational as well. The problem with Drollin Lockbird is just like Dimensional Shifter. If you're playing it in a control deck, you're just forcing the opponent to miss a turn, and if you can't punish them for missing a turn, well, I mean, they're just gonna finish doing their searching. Regardless, if you are playing a deck that can put out a ton of damage, if not completely prevent your opponent from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! The next turn, Drollin Lockbird is the card that you should consider playing. Effect Veiler is just a card that is not good right now. Do not play Effect Veiler in your decks. Let's break it down a little bit for you guys. The Drytrin effect monsters activate and resolve in hand, the same thing with Virtual World, Dino's Half Misk, and while you could stop Alistair the Invoker's effect to search an invocation, how many times have you done that and they actually still had the invocation? Not to mention decks like Zodiac Guru and Eldritch don't care about Effect Veiler. This is just not its time to shine. There's no monsters to negate with this card. You can even say the exact same thing with Infinite Impermanence. It's just a card that's not good right now. I've been catching a lot of players still playing Infinite Impermanence in their main board, which actually prompted me to make this video. Evenly Matched is a card that is low-key good, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually amazing in a control format, especially if your opponent sets 5 back row and you just go Battle Phase. I feel that the decks that can go second, if left uninhibited, Evenly Matched can actually help them a lot on establishing boards. There are a ton of go second decks that will play Evenly Matched to success. Fantastical Dragon Phantasme is an oh no, what are you doing baby card. I can literally name 5 decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! That does not link summon, at least to the tune of where Fantastical Dragon Phantasme would gain advantage. Do not play this Yu-Gi-Oh! Card, as there are some decks that just don't even play links. Ghost Sister in Spooky Dogwood is a staple must play. No, it is a, oh no, what are you doing, baby? This was actually just put here just for me to laugh at. I actually bought this card when they were 20 plus each. I need something to laugh at. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, laugh at my pain. I thought Ghost Sister in Spooky Dogwood would be an amazing card, and it just continues to disappoint me. Ghost Belle in Haunted Mansion is a staple must-play Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm gonna list some cards that Ghost Belle in Haunted Mansion can stop. Nadir Servant, Psyframe Gear Gamma. That's right, Ghost Belle in Haunted Mansion not only has applications in the top matchups like Drytrin, Virtual World, Dino, Eldritch, Zodiac, it also can stop staple Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards and certain hand traps. What exactly are you doing not playing Ghost Belle in Haunted Mansion inside of your deck? Ghost Warner and Moonlit Chill is just not good right now. It falls under the same pretense of Effect Veiler and Infinite Impermanence, even though it does have non-targeting ability as well as a little bit of burn damage. I would actually consider it a little better than both of those cards, but still, it's just not great right now. Ghost Ogre in Snow Rabbit is a card that I think that you shouldn't be caught slipping on, but isn't really a great card. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it as, oh, this is a tough one. I'm gonna put good but situational. Against decks like Zodiac, you can easily Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit monsters like AA Zeus or even Zodiac Dryden. That's really good. Also, if your opponent only plays one True King of all calamities, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit gets rid of the card. It also has the potential to get rid of monsters when they use their effects, as well as continuous spell and trap cards. Those could come up, but unfortunately, it's in so many different situations, it's kind of like, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit would not be the first hand trap that I would consider playing inside of my main deck, but in the right meta, I can see this card thriving as a really good hand trap. Moving forward, I feel that No Material is a card that is good but situational. If you can get off No Material on the opening turn against any of the top contending decks, a lot of them will struggle, especially decks like Zodiac, which really would like to go into that Zodiac Dryden as an extra form of disruption. Using cards like No Material would completely ruin their day. But on the flip side, No Material is a card that can only be activated while you control no cards, so it's a really good card, just situational at best. The Herald cards are, what are you doing, baby? All 3 of them. Why would you ever? I'm just playing with you guys. Herald of Orange Light easily goes into the staple must-play category. Now, I know what you must be thinking. Herald is only really good in decks like Drytrin, where you can play a plethora of fairies, but Herald is actually that good. Herald not only allows you to negate every single hand trap in this entire list for the exception of evenly matched and infinite impermanence, it allows you to do it while you're playing your combo. I can see players picking up and playing Drytron particularly because it does have the best hand trap in Yu-Gi-Oh! So while it is somewhat situational, when you play it in one of the best decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! It becomes a staple must play. Also with Orange Light and Purple Light, I'm going to put them in the low-key good. They fall under the same category as Orange Light because they stop respective spell and trap cards, and for the players that didn't know, spell and trap cards both exist that probably should be stopped at points in times. We should already know about my boy Misk. Have you guys read Misk? It is a staple must play, and Nibiru is a card that's just not good right now. Who would have thought? Not only are we in a control-based format where decks don't tend to special summon more than 5 times, the decks that do, like Virtual World, can make True King of all calamities before your Nibiru becomes active, and Drytrons, they kinda just don't care. Other than that, Nibiru just completely fizzles out as a good card. It can be amazing against rogue strategies, but if you're deck building, are you really deck building to beat rogue? Because if you are, I have some news for you. Imagine being in a format where Dimensional Shifter is seen better than Nibiru. I never would have thought. Cyframe Gear Gamma is a good but situational card. Wait, hold on, why isn't this a staple must-play Yu-Gi-Oh card? Well, Gamma actually does face a few problems. First, Ash Blossom, Enjoy Spring, and Ghost Ogre can relatively check Gamma with ease. The second thing about Cyframe Gear Gamma is that players have gotten smart enough not to shotgun card effects to allow Cyframe Gear Gamma to pop off. If you are playing against a good player, the odds of Cyframe Gear Gamma being able to be that blowout card that it once was is minuscule, but it's still a really good card effect, especially being on par with Herald of Orange Light, being able to negate critical monster effects. And I obviously couldn't put it as a low-key good card because, I mean, it's not low-key. Cerebrus is in that, oh no, what are you doing right now? Don't play Cerebrus inside of your Drytron builds. As you can see, the top hand traps don't target, and Skullmeister is a staple must-play card. It's similar to Ghost Bell, DD Crow, Ally of Justice, Cycle Reader, except it stops activations in the graveyard. Every single Yu-Gi-Oh deck in the top tier list activates in the graveyard, so Skullmeister has applications across decks across the board. Well, that's all that we have for the top hand trapped for this Yu-Gi-Oh format. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to destroy that like button because getting to 1,000 likes would be the goal so we can continue to make hand trap videos. Also, be sure to comment down below in the comment section what are some of your favorite hand traps, what are you using in your deck to success, and I'll catch you on the next video.